Hello friends, it's Kik here. And in today's episode, we have Elon Musk announcing a call for volunteers for brain chipping. Scientists who created sand that pours upwards. Toyota has taught robots to prepare breakfast by just showing them how it's done. A neural network has depicted Star Wars in the style of Japanese crime films, and you definitely need to see this. An AI that's taking over YouTube, a wheel-mounted security robot, and 200 Starlink satellites that have fallen to Earth in 2 months. All this and much more right now. Let's dive in. Let's start today's episode with Neurolink, which is now ready to conduct operations for implanting an electronic chip into the human brain. This is evident from the announcement of a test group recruitment on the company's official website. The announcement describes the requirements for candidates and explains what the surgical robot will do with them. The Neurolink N1 is a coin-sized chip that connects to the brain with 64 threads. Each thread needs to be inserted into the brain area responsible for movement intention. As soon as the patient wishes to move, the sensor will pick up an electrical signal, which will then be sent to an electronic device. The company has started recruiting individuals willing to participate in the experiment. The primary requirements for candidates are an age of 22 and above, and a diagnosed lateral amyotrophic sclerosis or quadriplegia, the loss of function of all 4 limbs due to spinal cord injury. It is expected that paralyzed patients will be able to control external devices, such as a mouse cursor or a keyboard, using their thoughts. The research is also aimed at evaluating the safety of the chip itself and the surgical robot R1. It's the one that will insert the electrode threads into the appropriate brain zones. The experiment will last about 6 years, and participants will need to be monitored by the company's team of experts in the clinic and at home, including 2 weekly 1-hour sessions. Neuralink also reported that they would compensate patients for expenses related to the surgery and subsequent observation. While studying microencapsulation, a team of scientists from the USA accidentally made a discovery. When you turn a magnet below a vessel containing polymer particles coated with iron oxide, the granules start moving upward on a slope, on a wall, or up a staircase. Polymer particles coated with an iron oxide layer, or microrollers, behave as expected, meaning they roll down an inclined plane. However, when subjected to a torque, each particle begins to rotate, creating a transient doublet state that rapidly forms and disintegrates. Increasing magnetic force enhances cohesion, providing the granules with better adhesion and the ability to move faster. The collective movement of all the granules and their ability to stick to one another allows a pile of sand grains to perform paradoxical feats, climbing walls and ascending steps. According to the scientists, these microrollers can be used for mixing or separating materials, moving objects, and creating microscopic medical or agricultural robots that deliver nutrients through porous materials. Meanwhile, the Toyota Research Institute, TRI, has utilized generative AI to train robots to prepare breakfast, bypassing traditional coding methods. Researchers took a simpler approach. They equipped robots with the ability to feel, connected them to an AI model, and showed them how to prepare breakfast. The researchers say that the ability to sense was key to rapid learning. They provided the robots with a special device resembling a microphone. Through this, the model can sense what it's doing, obtaining more information. This way, it's easier for the model to learn to perform difficult tasks than just relying on visual information. Initially, a scientist teacher demonstrates a set of skills to them, and then the model learns to replicate them. Typically, this process takes several hours and doesn't require human oversight. Birchfield added that they usually trained the robots during the day, after which they practiced all night, and by morning they were ready to master new skills. The researchers say they are trying to create a larger behavioral models, or LBMs, for robots. Just as LMs, large language models, learn by identifying patterns in human writing, Toyota's LBM will learn by observing and then replicating a skill, says Rusta Drake, a robotics professor from MIT and the vice president of robotics research at TRI. The Japanese have learned to understand chicken clucking using AI. Japanese researchers have developed an artificial intelligence system to decipher the clucking of chickens and roosters. The development allows for the recognition of the bird's emotional states, as well as determining if they are hungry, frightened, or excited. The created system is based on a method the researchers named Deep Emotional Analysis Learning, DEAL. It can adapt to changing voice patterns and discern mood, nuances by ear. The researchers tested the system on 80 birds with the assistance of a team of animal psychologists and veterinarians. The test results showed that the AI understands the mood of the chickens well from their conversation. The clucking reveals such feelings and states of the birds as hunger, fear, anger, satisfaction, excitement, and distress. And since we started talking about Japan, let's continue in this Japanese spirit. As we know, neural networks are progressing not by days, but by hours. These days, a new work by Midjourney has surfaced online. Artificial intelligence has reimagined Star Wars as a Japanese crime drama. We liked it so much that we simply had to share it. Midjourney managed to capture the essence of Japanese films. Star Wars in their version looks as if it were directed by Takeshi Kitano. Naturally, extraterrestrial creatures have no place here. Chewbacca is portrayed as a large Japanese man with thick facial hair, and Darth Maul's red face is now just a tattoo. And of course, Darth Vader is presented in almost traditional samurai armor. In the comments, viewers admit that the works of artificial intelligence are becoming more convincing, and in a couple of decades, they'd gladly watch classics in such a feature-length format, because, according to them, it's still better than the modern installments of Star Wars. What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Well, YouTube announced new AI-based tools for content creators at the annual Made on YouTube event. Among them are backgrounds and video topic recommendations, music matching, and a new dubbing feature for other languages. The Dream Screen tool will allow users to create videos and photos using artificial intelligence, which can then be set as backgrounds in their YouTube videos. Initially, creators will be able to input prompts to generate the background. Over time, creators will be able to remix and edit existing content using AI tools to craft something new. A new AI feature in YouTube Studio will generate ideas and themes for potential videos. The AI suggestions will be personalized for individual creators and based on what's currently popular among the audience. Moreover, an AI-based music recommendation system will suggest an appropriate soundtrack based on the video description provided by the author. Lastly, YouTube announced a dubbing feature using artificial intelligence, allowing creators to dub their videos into other languages. Let's move on. The 15th iPhone has started selling worldwide, so we suggest all potential buyers to get their ultraviolet flashlights ready. Here's why. With these flashlights, one will be able to distinguish the original iPhone 15 from a fake. Every year, scammers manage to counterfeit iPhone boxes, and Apple makes their design more complex annually. For instance, with the release of the iPhone 12, the company stopped wrapping boxes in plastic film. Protection was provided by paper stickers that could be peeled off. The fraudsters learned to replicate these during the iPhone 12's launch year. Apple has found a solution to this problem. It's anticipated that scammers won't be able to sell old or refurbished iPhone 15s as new ones. Invisible iPhone inscriptions and QR codes, which are only visible under ultraviolet light, have been discovered on the iPhone 15 boxes. Apple didn't mention this new technology during the presentation, and it makes sense. Many counterfeiters prepare iPhone fakes a few weeks before the launch. Unaware of the invisible inscriptions, they will replicate the boxes using the old template. But with this secret in hand, we can check the authenticity of a box when buying from suspicious sellers. At the very least, if the invisible QR codes don't protect buyers forever, they will certainly delay the appearance of counterfeits at the start of sales. Swiss company Acento introduced the Acento Guard security robot, which has a distinctive design with wheeled legs and a friendly, almost anthropomorphic face. The robot is designed for patrolling large open areas, targeting industries such as manufacturing, data processing centers, pharmaceutical production, and warehouses. Acento Guard's unique wheeled leg formula ensures precise movement across various surfaces. The robot is equipped with thermal and infrared cameras for surveillance, and in case of a security threat, such as an intrusion, it can notify security personnel through a companion app. The robot's movement speed is about 4.5 km/h, and two-way encrypted communication is facilitated through built-in speakers and microphones. Acento Guard can be quickly deployed, becoming virtually autonomous with a programmable patrol schedule and can withstand various weather conditions. According to the online service SatelliteMap.space, since July, SpaceX has lost over 200 satellites that were part of a constellation placed in low Earth orbit. This is the first instance of such a large-scale pandemic, and the company has not commented on the situation. Technically, the company's satellites are designed for 5 years of operation. Some of them don't reach the projected lifespan, but this is the first time SpaceX has experienced such significant losses. According to the source, as of January 1st, 2023, 248 devices had burned up in the atmosphere. By July 15th, this number was 353, and by the time of writing this news, it reached 569. The exact reason for the massive satellite loss over a relatively short period of time is unknown, as the company has not provided any comments. Given that SpaceX reports on the state of the constellation to the regulator every 6 months, information about the loss of some devices will likely only become publicly available by the end of the current year. A similar incident occurred with the company in February 2022, when they lost 40 devices at once due to a solar flare.